Tell me about the connection you have with the Cirque du Soleil. I mean, this is goes back to before Toruk, correct?
It goes back before Avatar. If you think about it, it's a closing loop now, because I was inspired by the Cirque du Soleil shows with their celebration of human physicality and their made-up culture, made-up language, all that kind of sense of a wondrous transport to a different world. And it was very much in my mind when I was creating Avatar. And then I got to know the Cirque guys while I was finishing the film. And we started talking about other projects, which led to making a film together, a 3D film called Worlds Away. And then they came to me and said, we want to adapt Avatar to a show. They weren't sure at that time whether it was an arena show or a tent show or whatever. I said, this is perfect. We absolutely should continue to work together. And so now they've closed the loop by coming back around and adapting Avatar to a stage show, to an arena show.
But did you think right away it was a good idea? Because it's not an obvious thing to do a stage show based on any movie, particularly Avatar.
Well, I think it's so not obvious that they had never done it. This is the first time they've ever adapted. And Guy is very clear, Guy Laliberté is very clear. He said, I don't really like Hollywood. I don't like how they think. Don't like those guys. But I like you guys, and I like what you created with this movie. And for me, it was a no-brainer. I'd already worked with them, like I said, on Worlds Away, and I'd always loved what they do, and I learned to appreciate their creative culture, their in-house creative culture, which is very much not the way Hollywood works. And I actually think we in the Hollywood community could learn an awful lot from how Cirque operates in terms of the way it celebrates the artist and gives the artist free rein. But in any case, for me, it was a no-brainer. For them, it was a huge leap, a leap of faith in a sense, because they're doing something very experimental and very risky, which is they're applying narrative to something that before was very free form and kind of surreal and whimsical at times, and now they were applying the rigor of actually telling a story. And that meant that instead of having a series of specialist vignettes, they now had to create a troupe of actor performers. They'd never done that before. And so not only did they need to all be good acrobats, they also had to act, do dialogue, do scenes. They had a narrative storyteller. This was all new stuff for them. So they're starting to play by the rules of a stage show, like a play, and yet they still had to hold on to what was definitively Cirque in the minds of their fans.
Now you went down to Bossier City to see it. What was your reaction when you saw the show?
Loved it, spectacular, truly spectacular. Somehow they managed to fill a space the size of an arena with another world that's constantly evolving and transforming right before your eyes in ways that you can't even follow, with inflatable sets and huge structures and overhead rigging, 40 projectors, and yet at the same time, sometimes it would collapse down to these intimate moments of kind of pure emotion between the characters. Sometimes there'd only be 2 or maybe 3 characters on stage at a time, and then it would explode back to full scale and even spill out into the audience with the projections and so on, and sometimes some of their flying things would come out over the audience. So very immersive, spectacular, fun. Yeah, I enjoyed it.